All right, let's do it. Gina, can we please have a one-word prompt?
Pancake.
Ooh.
All right, I like it. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Scrolling through Instagram, and I just get fed like cat and food videos these days. Is primarily the reels that it knows to feed me, which I'm okay with. And one of them was pancake spaghetti. You put the pancake batter in a little squeeze bottle, and then just kind of go up and down on the pan, and kind of, so it's very thin, tiny, like pancakes, and then you put it all in a bowl, and it looks like spaghetti, but then he drizzled like syrup and butter over it. I was like, that looks great. I want to try that now.
That's not a bad idea. Hold on one second.
It looks fun.
Hey, welcome to the Overtalking Podcast with your hosts, Ken and CJ. Say hi, CJ.
Hi, CJ.
Wow, there really is a delay.
I want it.
This is the show where we talk over TV shows and movies as chosen by our guests, but all month of February, we're getting real romantic with you because it's date movie month, baby.
Sexy voice time.
Yeah, it's full on in it. So yeah, today we're talking about The Nice Guys.
And sitting next to me in person, we have first-time guest Gina.
Hi. That's me.
Hello.
You're here.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you.
We're happy to have you.
I'm happy to be here on this snowy Thursday eve.
It's always nice when a guest picks an actual like good movie too.
Gosh.
We got a lot of stinkers.
Oh no. Guys, don't stink.
Yeah. Guests, pick good things for us to watch.
Come on.
Keep setting the bar high.
This is our homework.
That's
Taking
right.
that free time to watch this.
I'm flattered you think that this is a great movie because if I hadn't watched it on my own, it would be a great date movie. So I went forward with this choice.
I think so too. Did you watch this on a date?
No,
Okay.
I watched this on my own, just leisurely scrolling through, pick a streaming service, and I landed on it. And my boyfriend had already watched it and just didn't even know at the time he had watched it and swore it up and down. I had to see it. I would love it. And I took that with a grain of salt. And gosh, now it's probably in like the top 10 best comedies of my choice.
Wow.
It's so funny. It's so witty. I know. And that's loaded because there's so many great comedies that stand the test of time. But this one just flew so low under my radar that now I'm like, I will talk about it forever. I have to.
I hadn't even heard of it before.
Yeah, that's right. Ken, never heard of it.
Oh, get out. Oh, it's so great. It's so great.
Did pancake come from that's like your ideal date is to like make pancakes at home or?
I recently made them because we had no groceries. And
That is a good, like, what do I have in the pantry?
no groceries. We needed to do all the grocery runs, the Jewel, the Trader Joe's, the Costco. But there was a half-used bag of, like, protein.
The Kodiak
Yeah,
or whatever?
the Kodiak.
That's
And
good.
I thought, okay, well, we can just have this. And they were great. And so this was, like, probably a week ago. So it's fresh in my mind.
Gotcha.
Now, have you done the pancake spaghetti?
No, that sounds so Gen Z. Like, it makes me mad.
Probably, yeah.
It does.
I have not elevated my cooking game to the point where I'm using like a squeeze bottle that like restaurants have to have like batter and to, really fine tune your whatever sauce you're serving with and make it look all fancy.
Once you get into a squeeze bottle, you can make all the cool shapes and everything, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
exactly,
what I was about
yeah.
to say.
Like Mickey Mouse. You ever done that? That one's real hard.
All of the cool shapes, including the one everybody does. You just put 3 pancakes together.
That's so hard, though. You gotta get it just
But
right.
pancake art, like, that went around the internet for a minute,
Yeah,
and now,
there's-
like, whatever.
That's another thing I come across. That it feeds me like pancake art accounts where you don't like, it's kind of a mystery what they're making and they have different colors. And then finally they do the flip and you're like, holy shit.
Yeah, or it's super time-lapsed, and you're like, slow down.
Yeah.
How did you do that? And you'll
Yeah.
never know.
No. I got to get a squeeze bottle though. I think we're decided. Also, because they've got to be like $2 on Amazon or something like that.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm going to elevate my game. I'll report back.
Okay.
Man, now we're recording this before dinner. I really want pancakes for dinner
Yeah,
now.
I'm
Hey,
starving
breakfast
now.
for dinner.
Yeah. Really hungry.
Well, I think a few people in this movie got squeezed for information.
Hey, they sure did.
Bravo.
Yeah. So we'll talk about The Nice Guys and more coming up on the Overtalking Podcast.
You're a private investigator? My profession is very complicated, okay? It's nuanced. That's a lot of blood.
You beat people up and charge money?
Yeah. Sad, isn't it?
How much would you charge to beat up my friend Janet?
What? How much you got?
$30?
That's good. This conversation is over.
The mob is trying to spread its operation to Los Angeles. Somehow, my daughter Amelia is involved. Please, find her.
You seen this girl?
What's in it for me?
Oh, we can do this the easy way. We're currently doing it the easy way.
Whatever happened to offering me $20?
It's the recession.
And we're back on the Overtalking Podcast, joined once again by new guest Gina. Gina, we are going to put 30 seconds on the clock for you to describe for someone who's never heard or seen the movie The Nice Guys, which was me up until recently, what it's all about.
Ready, go.
All right, so we are in Los Angeles, 1997. It is the summertime, and the pollution is rampant. So who best to go about their beat but Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling, a very unlikely pair of PIs or just hard-nosed detectives kind of playing their own game.
10 seconds.
Trying to solve a couple of different crimes, but also find out
5,
why
4,
a certain girl
3,
is missing.
2, 1. And hilarity ensues, folks. It's a funny movie.
It does.
That was really good. You really painted a picture.
Ooh, thanks.
Yeah, you
I was
did.
nervous I'd leave something like important out or not spoil it too much. I don't know.
I feel like you could have I was expecting it to be like, all right, we fade in. Camera pans out. You're really setting the set.
I could have, but I only had 30 seconds.
Yeah, no. You did a great job.
Thanks.
Yeah, very good. This movie, when I first started watching it, it took me a long time to realize it was a comedy because it's not played straight comedy, right? Like
Not at all.
No.
it's a crime thriller, but with some witty dialogue, right?
Yeah. And the first 5 minutes give you this kind of campy noir feel of we're gonna hear their inner monologue and something's gonna happen. Someone's gonna throw a punch unnecessarily. We find Ryan Gosling, first scene, he's fully suited up in a tub full of water, but coming off a hangover. It's great.
Yeah, it doesn't dawn on you, at least me speaking personally, until later in the movie that you're like, oh, he's an alcoholic.
Yeah.
That's why he's in the tub.
Yeah.
Right.
And is always drinking in every scene or whatever.
But is a lot more polished, I guess, in his line of work than Russell Crowe appears to be.
Yeah, because Russell
Right.
Crowe. So yeah, Gosling is an actual licensed PI, right?
Right.
Yeah, and then Russell Crowe is just kind of taking odd jobs where he can get it
Mm-hmm.
He's more like
because
an
he
enforcer,
once acted like a
right?
hero. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just shaking people down for money or whatever.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
totally.
He's the diner guy.
He's
the diner guy. Russell Crowe
That's him.
gained a bunch of weight for this role specifically because he wanted to seem more like he could take a punch. He's more imposing, I guess.
I believe that because who needs Gladiator? Who needs Cinderella Man? We need a flubby Russell Crowe to just
Yes.
especially redeem from Les Mis a couple years prior.
Oh wow!
This
Didn't
was
put that together.
the role for him. I really liked it.
In a Canadian tuxedo, I think the majority of the movie.
Oh yeah, it was the 70s. So throw on a floral
Gotta.
shirt if you need to and some brass knuckles.
Yeah.
You fit right in.
I feel like I saw that has pizza in the title. Licorice Pizza. I saw that somewhat recently. And then the setting of this is the exact same. I
Yeah.
feel like seeing Licorice Pizza then set me up to better know the time period that we're interacting with this movie.
For sure.
There's the gas crisis they have in both those movies.
Yeah.
Where cars lined up down the block to try to get gas. The groovy times in California in the 70s.
Yeah.
Wow.
Correct.
What a place to be.
It seemed like it's just too much. I would not survive. And then I look at their characters and all that they go through and the situations they find themselves in. I'm like, why is everyone else out and about? So then I'm thinking it has to be just, I don't know, to each their own.
I was thinking too, even nowadays of, oh, right, when you're a celebrity or you have money in California, it probably takes you 2 hours to drive anywhere.
Unless you have a helicopter or
Yeah.
you are able to
Right.
get around a different way. I don't know.
It's just oh, these people just spend so much of their time in a car.
That's
Cars
so
that are
evident in this
boats.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The car is a couple of seats and then the rest of it is just big car.
Yeah.
I feel like anytime they start driving in this movie, it's daytime, and by the time they get to where they're going, it's nighttime, which must be pretty accurate.
Yeah.
And convertible tops are always down. No one's ever worried about weather because it's just smog and pollution.
Yeah, just
so
breathe in
like,
that smog, baby.
who's going to steal your car just because it has a roof? Nobody.
I forgot that, in the movie, you hear the, like, news come on and say, you can't go outside until it's nighttime. It's like, Jesus.
They literally show the brown over the city. It's so disgusting.
Yeah. It's like,
It's bad. It's so bad. And then there's protesting about it, and this like makes a small like blip in the plot, but yeah.
Yeah, all these houses are on the there's only one road to get there, and it just winds through the mountains. It's like, is it worth it to be rich and famous to then have to be like, all right, time to go meet up with a friend. Guess I'm gonna sit in the back of a car for 2 hours to go to get coffee somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeesh.
That's why you got to be helicopter rich. I think that's it.
God. And contributing directly to all of the smog we see.
Yeah. And then, I mean, you have like Russell and Ryan's characters who they only get around by their own cars.
Yeah.
Or they're not really on foot. So they throw a car like down the road and then they go run off and do something and they find a different car that they steal and there goes their trip in this car. It's just, you can't get by with any other way of transportation, I guess.
Shame on Gosling making his daughter be the DD for all of his alcoholism.
Who I guess because it's the 70s, it's cool if like 14-year-olds, 13-year-olds can just run the car into the driveway. Like that's a treat. But she was like manning the wheel. For a moment.
Is the daughter the real hero of the movie? Do you think?
She is the neutral chaos. Right?
Okay.
In the grid of what could be, because she sort of has sound mind, but she is like way too far advanced for her age in terms of like vocabulary or even just how her thinking is, like trying to help her father, who is Ryan Gosling, be like a better detective, PI, before he's even a better dad. So I think she understands kind of like the history too of like what happened prior to the movie starting and like what we learn about their family. But she had to kind of grow up a little quicker, and I think that made her who she is.
Yeah. We touched on this a bit last week for role models is these kids that are being treated as adults that you should not be doing that.
Correct.
It kind of messes with them and not a great parenting tactic.
Mm-hmm. Like any good 70s movie, there was a huge house party scene that like had all these like porn stars and Earth, Wind, and Fire made an appearance and just all these weird celebrities showed up and she crashed the party and just like nothing fazed her. So you're like, can you help out in this situation or should you just lay low?
Not just crash the party even, but hid in a trunk.
To get there.
To get there, yeah.
Dang cars. Quit hiding in trunks, kids.
For everything that she sees in this movie, she doesn't really seem to be fazed at all by it, right?
None.
Like she witnesses basic murders and porn. She literally watches porn at one point, and she's fine. It's okay. I'm 14.
Someone who's trying to like go after her dad gets run over by a van, and her immediate reaction is, "We have to call an ambulance and help them." But prior to that, minutes before, they were chasing her and wanting to do harm to her. Very strange.
Yeah, she's got a good heart, but maybe also too good at times.
Yeah.
To be like, well, that guy was literally just trying to kill you, so maybe it's okay if he's treated poorly.
Yeah, her street smarts are definitely advanced, but she also had like a roller skating birthday party in the first half hour of the film.
Right.
So
That's right. Wow. Yeah.
definitely a child, right?
Yeah,
Have your birthday
child.
party, eat
Yeah.
your cake, but don't be sitting next to these grown adults being like, "Oh, you whack people?" Like, "Oh man, what kind of gun do you have?" No.
That's why I was
like that.
That's why I was confused earlier on, because they start out with this birthday party, but then she's driving a car and like participating in murder mysteries. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It's all over the map.
Yeah.
It is, yeah. There's a lot of wit, but I think even just some of the staging choices of like put her in the front seat behind the wheel. I don't know if it would have. I don't know if that scene would have even resonated differently with me if like it had been the other way around.
Did you have any roller derby rink pizza parties?
No, I mean my elementary school hosted those events, right? Like the 2nd, 3rd, 4th grade, whatever trips to like a roller rink. But I, as a child, as an adult, never learned. And I don't know if that was a choice of mine. I also just have a fear of like falling. I can do heights. I can do like any other sort of like maybe popular fear, but I do not want to fall because I could fall any which way. And now you put me on wheels.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that is a
Then the people
nightmare.
can come by and roll over your fingers, right? So I get it.
They could. Yeah.
Wasn't afraid of that until now. Thanks, Ken.
All of the suburban rinks too looked and were as dated as what was in the film.
Oh, yeah.
Just very retro, bad carpeting.
Yeah, no upkeep
Wooden
whatsoever.
panels
No.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Right.
And it was cool, but like my friends would try to usher me onto the rink and I'd be like, no, I'll just watch, which is so lame. That's like saying you're going to watch Truth or Dare happening or spin the bottle. No, I'll just watch. It was awful. And so I only went to like a couple of those before I realized like I'm never putting on skates.
Yeah. And I feel like a lot of it too, at least speaking personally, it was like rarely the hangouts were on the rink, but you were still in rollerblades.
Yeah.
So even just like in the weird, like dirty locker room off to the side, you'd be like talking to people and then have to like skate into the bathroom and be like, well, this kind of sucks. Awkward and stuff. Yeah. I was baffled that our childhood one lasted so long. And then finally, I think a few years ago, it finally closed. And it was like,
Yeah,
how was
only
it
recently.
still open
Do you
when
remember
we were going?
do you remember the name of it? I remember the names of mine.
Orbit.
skate rink.
Okay, so there was Breakaway,
Okay.
and then there was Fleetwood
We
rinks.
got a couple.
Yeah, and one was
Options.
just like larger. They were both like very outdated and sad, but one was just a little bigger. And Breakaway was where most of like the school functions were, and then Fleetwood was like, oh, someone's 8th birthday party is here.
Did yours have the feeling that ours did, where it felt like you were entering some mafia-owned thing?
No.
Our entrance, you know what, like the stores around here where you can get like currency exchanges
Yeah.
or city stickers where they have like the glass and
no.
and the entire room is just room with like somebody behind paneled glass.
Oh, that's
that was
so
the
funny.
entrance to this place. Was you walked in, you opened the door, then it was maybe like an 8 by 8 foot room with no furniture except the like the employee behind plated glass.
So inviting.
Yeah, exactly. And I just remember having this fear as a kid entering and being like, this is the right place?
Oh,
like
no.
this is, like a blinking incandescent light off to the side or whatever. And then they like buzz you in. Like they have to have that buzzer for the door to open and then you can go.
But
back.
once you get
Just
in,
like,
it's pretty great.
Magic,
they
baby.
Got the, they had all those arcade games off to the side. I remember those.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
That
the
was
claw.
fun. The claw.
The rink that I'm referring to was like a VFW and a Cafe Gymatorium had a kid.
Got it.
And it was not designed at all for like children. It
Yeah.
was just wood and metal and there are your skates and a disco ball. It had a disco ball.
No, you gotta, yeah.
But it was just not designed to attract like children. It was
Yeah.
like a good place for families to just crowd in, but no, it was just very wood and dark and disco ball.
I'm also now all these more or less bad memories are flooding back to me thinking about Orbit Skate Rink of like then being in middle school and be like, all right, time for couples skating. It's like we're 12, like we don't need to do this.
This one's for all the
anxiety.
ladies. Ugh.
Oh, so
These are
good.
Exactly. Yeah, why were they putting that on children?
Seriously. Ugh.
Stupid. Hated it.
Because that's who's working there.
Yeah, just also teenagers or whatever.
Yeah,
People
yeah.
that are like 4 years older than you are the employees there in charge of safety.
That's a John Mulaney joke, right? Oh, the babysitter was a few years older than me
Yeah.
and thought they were like 2 decades older.
Yeah. You're like, oh, you're an adult. Like, no.
No.
Also a child.
Yeah, a slightly older child. Yeah.
I don't think I ever had one there, but I went to a bunch. I can't remember where. I think we did bowling was the preferred spot. Cosmic bowling.
Yeah.
The black lights and stuff. Ken, where were your birthday parties? I wasn't invited to any, so I don't know.
We didn't know each other back then. I was poor, so we did in-home birthday parties. Not because we were poor.
Hell yeah.
We weren't poor, but we always did Halloween-themed birthday parties. I think we've talked about this on the show, but
I like
That
that.
makes sense.
yeah, those were fun. Did Tunnel of Terror, which was just a bunch of cardboard boxes taped together with a bunch of spooky shit inside, and you crawl through that.
Yeah.
Nice.
A lot of fun.
Did you do the thing where you have kids like stick their hands in
know
bowls
it.
and like their eyeballs? Ah,
Absolutely. So good.
nice.
I remember driving around with
That
my
must have been great for
dad
you.
the day of the party looking for dry ice. That was like the one thing that stuck in my mind. And that was fun. And I was just always afraid to touch it because I thought my hand would freeze off, which I think it would,
It's
right?
valid.
I mean, yeah, you're definitely not supposed to touch it.
You got to glove that shit.
Yeah. I think it literally like burns you, right? It's like the equivalent of like it starts to kind of like eat at your skin. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Definitely don't recommend touching it. Yeah. Don't do
No.
that.
That'd be an interesting way to die if you put that in a drink and then drink it, right?
There's a reality competition show on Netflix. It has one season so far. It's called Drink Masters.
What?
And a couple of episodes in,
The like cocktail
yeah,
thing. Yeah.
couple of episodes in, some contestant used dry ice in their drink, and it just did not look like it was like filtered correctly. And he sort of got by in the next round, but like no one tried his drink because they're like, "I'm sorry, like we watched you make it. It was wrong." Netflix.
It's the same with like Bake Off. They
Yeah.
like I feel like they sometimes do accidentally like take a bite of something that's still raw. I'm like, oh well, that wasn't cooked. Okay. It's like,
Oh, yeah.
No one told you at that time. There's 6 cameras around. None of them are like,
Yeah,
hey,
really.
actually, you don't want to eat that one.
You've been watching from the
just
sidelines this whole time. You couldn't tell that
Yeah.
that dude barely put it on a pan.
Yeah,
Yeah. Forgot to turn on the oven. Goes to put it in. Oh, it wasn't on.
I love those. Oh, my oven was never on, and it's been like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And now they're fucked.
Yeah. I also don't understand that because, like, I know they have, like, way better ovens, but still, like, surely you should be able to, like, feel the heat
Right.
coming off of it. You're standing in front of it the entire time.
Right.
To be like, it doesn't feel hot over here.
Sure. Check the oven light. Oh,
Yeah.
this oven's not on at all. No, it doesn't matter.
Guys, I could go on, like, a 20-minute rant about our current oven. I hate it so much.
Why?
It sucks. It doesn't work. I mean, it works, but, like, preheat sucks. The oven temperature is way wrong.
Are you a broiler guy?
Oh.
No, I don't use the broiler too much.
I'm too afraid to.
Yeah.
How about you guys want to do some trivia? Might be time for trivia.
I love trivia.
Yes.
It's time for. Hey, did you know that? For new listeners, this is the part of our show where we pit our guests and CJ head to head to see who knows the most about what we watched. Gina, CJ, are you two ready?
Ready.
Ready?
All right. First question. This movie was directed by Shane Black, who is a well-known writer and director. How old was he when he sold the screenplay for Lethal Weapon?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh,
Also,
gosh.
also great name.
Yeah.
Shane Black. Very cool name.
Yeah.
That's his franchise. I'm going to say 23.
Okay.
I'll say, if you're asking about it, it's probably, I'll do like 19.
Gina's closer, 22.
Wow.
But if we're
Yeah, it's
talking
really
Price is
young
Right
still.
rules, I went over.
That's okay. That comes in
okay.
later.
Oh, okay.
Cool. All right. Gina's on the board. Next question. This one's true or false. This was originally meant to be a TV series.
Oh.
I would say that's true,
Yeah, I could see that. Like a murder mystery.
but like an odd couple sense.
Yeah.
I'll
like
say
a
it's
6
true.
episode series. Yeah, I'm going to go true also.
Okay. Yeah, you guys are right. It was originally meant to be a TV series, but they apparently, according to IMDb trivia, thought the plot wasn't going anywhere, so they just made it a movie.
The plot
I don't
only goes
understand.
everywhere.
Yeah.
because
It is
there is
so
a
ongoing.
plot. Yeah.
Yeah, I would never describe this as slow at any point.
No, when you think like you're about to get that falling resolution, there's a new twist
Yeah.
to the issue at hand. Yeah.
Weird.
But it makes sense.
It is
When
a-
I was watching this, I thought for sure that this was like a backdoor pilot or something, right? Even though it's 2 hours long, it probably wasn't. But they're setting up like, oh, now we're going to go into business together at the end. And
Right.
I don't know. That would have been cool. That would have been a good show.
Just different problems in Los Angeles. And oh gosh, now the White House is calling them. Like it could have just been so far fetched. I would have
That's
watched
season
it.
4. They go to the White House.
All right, next question. The body of Sid Shattuck is played by what Marvel's Avenger actor?
He's so grotesque
Yeah, you have
that
his
I
face
never
is
even
gone.
bothered to look in IMDb to be like, who plays
Right,
the porn
right.
director? I
Yeah.
have no clue.
Oh man.
He's an Avenger or a Marvel actor? Sorry.
He's an
Avenger.
actor who is an Avenger in Marvel's Avengers.
Is it RDJ.
Is that your guess?
I'll go.
That's my guess.
Oh, man. Yeah, that is. Oh, man. I really don't know. I'm trying to just go through the Avengers in my mind. I don't know. Chris Evans? That's not right.
It was Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah,
Yes!
wow.
Yeah, with a fake beard and blood.
They asked ScarJo first, and she's like, I don't know.
This came out when he's big, right? Like, why?
Yeah, like
what a role
Iron
to
Man
be like,
is happening.
Yeah.
Like, all of Marvel is happening, and he just like sits up upon a tree and is clearly murdered.
Yeah. Wow. Huh.
Weird.
That's
He's
a great
uncredited
trivia
too.
Point.
Super weird.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
That's a great question, though.
Yeah.
All right. Next question. The dialogue between the bartender and the detectives, where it goes like, he'll stop doing it. Doing what? You know. Okay. Is the same line used in what Marvel movie that Shane Black directed and co-wrote?
Is it the Avengers? And is that one like...
No, it's probably an Iron Man. That's why he got
Yeah.
Robert Downey. There's a bar scene in Iron Man 3, like a ghost town of a bar.
Yeah, you're probably right.
There's
though.
like
it's probably some
it's
Iron
a
Man
whole
one.
like classified files scene, right? I'm like the 1% who watched that movie and thought it was okay.
So is that your guess, Iron Man 3?
Yeah.
CJ, what's your guess?
I had the Avengers movie, but I think that was the Russo brothers or something. I'm wrong.
Yeah. Gina, you're right. Yeah, it's
No!
Iron Man 3.
Wow.
Very
That's
good.
wild. Context clues, but also like
Yeah.
just Hail Marrying it. Sorry, Siege, catch up.
No, it's all right. I tend to lose.
All right, next question. What's the body count in this movie?
Oh my god.
Oh.
Is this just any death?
Yes.
I'm only coming up with 3, but that seems low.
I'm gonna round up to. But like think of the car dealership scene, the shootout at the very end with like the
Oh.
film being played.
I don't know though. I'll go with 3. I don't know.
I'm gonna.
Okay.
Okay, well now I'm second guessing what I thought I knew. I'm gonna just say 10.
Yeah, 10 is closer, but still under. It's 15.
Oh. Okay,
have
so
been off
that's
from that
it's
scene.
that it's that
Okay,
car
yeah.
dealership scene for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're not,
also,
like-
remember when they go up in that hotel earlier, but right after that bar scene, there's a couple people getting shot and stuff. And I
Yeah,
think there's just
John
a couple
Boy.
random things happening. Oh, and the girl dies too.
gunfire.
Yeah, the porn star in the beginning.
Yeah, that was the one.
Oh, yeah.
That's
The-
it. It was like him, the bad dude, and
The blue face?
RDJ.
Yeah.
Those were the 3 that I came up with.
Because the other hitman who was like up in Russell Crowe's space with the blue face, he survived. He's like, I'm leaving, even though they like just beat the shit out of each other at the party. by the
That
pool.
guy is credited by what name? This is the next
God.
question.
Is it Blueface?
I'll give you 2.
What Gina just said?
I just came up with this on the spot, so we're just going to roll with it. He's credited as the other guy, the older guy, the partner of the criminal.
Wait,
Which
just
one?
like
It's one of
dashed
those.
off. Oh,
Yeah.
I like the other guy. I'll go with that one.
Okay.
I'll guess partner just to switch it up.
No, it's the older guy.
The older guy.
Okay, but
He seemed younger to me. I don't know.
that seems lazy. You can call him anything.
He's older than the
else.
other guy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
How
The
are
other
we
guy's the
supposed
other
to
guy.
infer that? Oh, okay. You're right. So obvious.
That's not true, but he is credited as the older guy. All right, moving on. What is the Rotten Tomatoes Tomato Meter score in percentage closest without going over? For those that don't know, this is the critic score on Rotten Tomatoes. Gina, I'm pretty sure you're in the lead, so you go first.
By a bunch. Getting smoked.
Gosh, this means they had to leave like a review. Like, who's watching this and going, I better Rotten Tomatoes this.
A lot of people.
I guess.
But this is
I
the
could
critic
see
score, right?
The
So-
critic score is, just because I'm trying to be strategic and I don't care if I win or not, I'm going to say 64.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll say higher, so 65.
CJ, you get the point. Yeah.
Yes!
91%.
Oh, I did not give it its flowers. I'm sorry. I'm glad. That's
Yeah,
good.
that's good.
I'd love to be surprised.
But
It's a
I
great
think either
film.
way,
It makes sense.
Either way, I think Gina, you're a winner. Congratulations.
Oh, that's loud.
Oh, and I can't hear it this time. This is great.
God.
Thanks. That was good trivia. That was great
Thanks.
trivia.
Oh, thank you. We have one more bonus
you.
question. What do you think the audience score was on Rotten Tomatoes? So this is the people who chose to rate it.
Perhaps that is where my mind was going. I definitely don't think it's 91.
I don't think it's that high either, but I do think maybe 80s. Maybe like an 83?
I'm going to go with its year's sake and say 77.
Gina, I think you're a little bit closer, but yeah, 79%.
Ooh.
Okay.
So lower though.
Truly right in the middle.
Yeah.
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 And again, they had to take the time to write the review. So do something else with your day.
Yeah.
True. Have either of you ever written on Rotten Tomatoes?
No.
Nope.
No.
Not a
Me
single
neither.
time.
Have
I
you
allow
rated
for like
even?
No.
Nope.
I don't
me
want
neither.
the risk of like feeling like I went against the grain or like does my rating even matter?
Yeah, that's where I'm at. No one
Right.
cares. Says the guy hosting a movie review podcast.
That's what Letterboxd is for, where just no one can subscribe to you and you can just say your ratings into the ether and it doesn't matter.
Cool.
Yeah, and the like 3 people that follow you on there will get a kick out of it.
I'm also happy to blindly trust what like critics are saying, and then it's like, 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. I'm like, oh well, I guess I gotta get on that and watch that animated film or watch this thriller or whatever, and I will hopefully find the time to do it. But I wait for someone else to tell me to do it, like a sheep.
Yeah, I try to not let those influence me too much, except when it's like it got 12%. And I was like, okay, well, yeah, maybe I shouldn't waste an hour and a half of my time on something that like everyone agrees is really bad.
It's already
but
ragged.
it seems to be in line with this one at least. You two seem to really love the movie, and it's 91%. So if one movie is enough data to make any correlation off of, it seems to be spot on.
Yeah. I'll say that every scene in this film does not waste an opportunity to like crack a joke or have like some physical comedic element that you just aren't expecting, and it throws you off and it makes you laugh a lot harder than you should. Like, it's not that funny, but to me, I am like losing my mind after like, how did they think to do that?
Yeah.
Man.
It's good.
It's good.
Yeah.
And it's not a typical Gosling film, ladies. Give it a chance.
I mean, he's still a hunk.
Yeah.
He's a 70s
You saw it was
hunk.
Date Movie Month and that it's a Ryan Gosling movie. You thought it was something else, but it's not.
Yeah.
But it's
that was
still
a
good.
rom-com.
If you thought I was going to show up with Drive, forget it.
The most romantic of films.
Obviously the one we were thinking of, yes.
Yeah.
Gina, I think it's time for ratings.
Ratings.
Okay.
Ratings. On a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate The Nice Guys for you?
Oh, it's an 8.5.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It is. It's becoming a film for me that has now replaced other films where like I am cleaning the house, I am working, I'm doing something, and I just need something behind the scenes that is like funny and comforting, and I don't have to think too hard to watch it. And I know I'll enjoy it if I stop what I'm doing to like zone in. So
Dang.
yeah,
It's reached rewatch status.
it has.
Wow. Nice.
I find new things to laugh at the more I watch it, which is also, I think, a great sign of a good film.
Yeah. Dang.
Interesting.
Ken, Ken, I'm curious on your take.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to go next year.
Uh-oh.
Well, no. So, like, I did like it. It took me a while to get, I think I said this earlier, it took me a while to get caught on to the shtick, I guess, is not
supposed to be
nicest
funny.
way to put that. But it was a good movie. CJ, I'm surprised you liked it because it was 2 hours long, which is much longer. We'll get to your rating in a second. Stop interjecting while I'm trying to give my rating, CJ.
I'm sorry. I'll shut up.
6 for me. I maybe I do need to give it another watch though, because you're right. There's probably stuff I missed. I also split this up over 3 days, so.
Well, yeah, that's not great.
One cohesive watch. Gotta do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, give it another chance.
Yeah, I think I will. CJ.
For me, I think this is getting an 8. I really enjoyed this. This is my second time watching it. I watched it once before, and I didn't remember like the actual mystery part of it, which was good because then I was like surprised again.
Yeah.
But the only thing I remembered was like I remember having a good time the first time I watched it.
Definitely.
And then we watched it, and I really enjoyed it again. It was fun. I love a good like. I think this is a great just comedy, and then also having it like unveil a mystery with more layers and twists as it goes along is also great. 2-hour runtime is fine, Ken. I can do it.
Can you?
It is at 1:55.
This is the
I'm not
only
writing
movie
off
you've ever
every
been okay
2-hour
with.
movie.
A 2-hour
It's not
runtime.
true.
And if this is the director who was doling out Lethal Weapons and
Yeah,
Iron Man 3s, like he was being
3s,
generous with
with only
under 2 hours.
Sure.
Yeah. This, if people want a sort of like somewhat similar vibe, I watched Confess Flesh recently, which is a John Hamm movie where he's like remaking movies that came out, I think in the 70s or 80s that originally were Chevy Chase, but now it's John Hamm. It's a very similar vibe where it is a hard comedy, but then also he's like he used to be a detective, like journalist guy. So then they're also trying to like solve a thing throughout the movie. That one I will say is a cool 1.5 hours. So really good, but
Packs it all in.
yeah, but I recommend that too. If you want like a similar vibe of a movie, I had a good time watching that one too.
Yeah. And it's good. This is a good movie for like a date month. You are starting to meet someone, or you're just seeing them a lot more often. What do you put on? This makes you laugh. It doesn't feel forced, and no one has to like wonder if they'll figure it out on their own. And it's just fun to like poke at each other to be like, oh, I think they did it. No, I think they did it. I was talking with CJ before coming on the show, and I was torn between this movie and A Star is Born, because that is the last film I saw on a date with my current boyfriend, and it was his idea and he wanted to see it. I probably could have talked about it here, but it made me cry, and I didn't want to have to like go to that place. So I would much rather talk about a comedy that both of us enjoy and that I really like.
I think I can speak on behalf of both of us, Ken, that this was the right pick out of the two.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. I don't know what that other movie is, but yeah, if it would have made us cry.
That's the Lady Gaga one.
It's Lady Gaga. It's Bradley Cooper. They are,
okay. Yeah.
Yeah, they're celebrities at some point together, and like A Star is Born.
Yeah. Still have not watched that one.
It's a tragic love story. It's a happy love
that one.
story. Yeah, yeah. But we saw it on our second date, and we got popcorn, and my hand sat in the popcorn bucket the whole time. I was too into the movie to even eat. And then there's a point where I'm like crying, and I warned Bill, my boyfriend, ahead of time and said, I'm probably gonna cry. And he was like, all right, that's fine. We don't really know each other because it's date number 2. And I let the waterworks the levee broke. I was so emotional.
And he got up and moved more seats further away from you.
He couldn't, because we had the last 2 seats in the second effing row.
Oh,
Because we didn't get them
Is this
ahead
like
of
opening
time.
night?
looking straight up.
No, it's like right before Thanksgiving weekend, and I'm like, cool, we gotta like crank our necks to watch this movie. But oh, man, I do love this movie. I won't regularly put it on because like no one has to after they've seen it once or twice. But The Nice Guys, certainly a whole other dynamic, and great for a date.
It's got that rewatchability.
Yeah.
Ken, give it another try.
I will. I'll let it breathe
Sit
a little
down.
bit, but I'll circle back
one
to
take.
it.
None of this 3-day
Yeah, 3 nights,
nonsense.
geez.
Look, we've had a busy week with Overtalking, and I have other stuff going on, so I had to break it up a little bit.
Pause and play.
Trust me, I do the same thing where I'm definitely watching movies not in one sitting, but 3 is even pushing it for me. I'll do like 2 days where I split up like an hour each day. But
Three's the
3
most
is
I've ever
a lot.
done. I don't usually. I usually try to do it in one sitting if I can, but not this time.
Can I ask, and forgive me if this has been asked here before, but how many films or TV shows would you say you watch in a given year? For this podcast or otherwise?
Ooh,
I
mean,
don't even know where to begin.
yeah.
So
I feel
many.
like most of, almost all of like the guests pick. I will say I rewatch everything. So
Great.
even though I'd seen The Nice Guys before, I rewatched it for this. So yeah, and we do 52 episodes of the year. One's the
Is
end
your
of
question
year list
for the podcast or like in general?
No, just if you know in your mind,
yeah.
like there's stuff for this podcast, but also like leisurely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say we're both decent like movie watchers in our free time.
Yeah,
Nice.
And so,
think
yeah.
there's not a day that goes by without me watching at least like an episode of something. So
Cool.
Yeah. a lot, I think is the answer.
A lot.
No, I
don't
mean,
even
that's
know
great.
how to
I'm
compute
desperately
that.
trying to track the media I consume, especially with like seasons of shows or just films. So this month alone, I've already watched 14 movies that I'd never seen before.
Dang.
Cool.
And that's a new goal, right? New year, new me. I'm trying to watch movies.
Hop on Letterboxd.
Yeah.
Keep track
Yeah,
of
you
them.
should.
It'll tell you, and then and then
I
you can
should.
put little
Right.
1 through 5 star ratings.
Ooh.
You write a little quippy review that 2 of your friends like.
Been
That's
there.
right.
Yep, that's.
I also am someone who
Only
panics
movies,
right
though.
before award season. So I
Want to like watch all of them?
yeah,
okay.
so
Yeah.
if I can validate like, oh, that wasn't worth it, or that person's a better actor, I don't
Yeah.
know. I try to catch up and do it in such a short amount of time that by like April, May, June, I'm like, all right, what's the summer blockbuster that I won't see? I'll stream it on HBO in 3 months after.
I will say, actually, I use Letterboxd more than Rotten Tomatoes as far as like newer movies or certain movies that'll, because it'll also tell you like, oh, hey, friends of yours have been watching this stuff. And be like, oh, I actually haven't ever seen that. Like, what did they think? Oh, they gave it like a 3 or a 4 star
Yeah.
out of 5. Oh, yeah.
You
okay.
trust that person.
That helps too.
Exactly, yeah.
They also show like the spread of how many people give them like 1 stars, 2 stars, 3 stars, 4 stars. That I don't know.
Yeah.
That gives me a little better idea of do a lot of people like this movie or is it split? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, but like, so that way you're seeing like, oh, 2 friends whose opinion I value both gave it half a star. I'm going to go ahead and skip that one.
Yeah. Okay. Letterboxd sponsor this episode.
Yeah, get on it.
Seriously.
You can follow me at CJW on Letterboxd if you want to read my quippy reviews that I barely write.
You can follow me at KDRISC01. Super easy to remember. Don't do it. I don't even write reviews anymore. I used to, but no.
Yeah, I'm usually just checking stuff in to remember, like, have I seen this or not?
Can I show
Right,
my not that old age for a second?
Yeah.
I used to be a contributing writer for Chicagoist.
Oh, wow.
Cool.
Before it just disbanded, but I was talking about movies and like pop culture all the time. And I had like 5 articles published, and then they're like, we're done. And I was so sad because it was my only outlet before like blogs took over, and everyone had a blog at some point a decade ago, including me. So that was just like a bad transition for my writing outlet. But yeah, I loved writing just like pieces to try to influence nobody or everybody.
That's Letterboxd. Throw them on there. I'll read them.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah.
sign me up. I'm sold. Yeah.
All right.
Sweet.
We got 1 member. Send us some money, Letterboxd.
Yeah. Well, Gina, thank you for joining us. I'm sure we'll have you on in the future. You've been a great guest. Do you have anything you want to
Thank
plug at
you.
the end here or any words of wisdom?
Any words of wisdom? We could all use some vitamin D, but just make sure you're also stretching. I get real tense and my joints suck. So just give your body a little love every day and stretch.
That is great advice.
That is
Thanks.
very good advice. Yeah.
And don't just crack your knuckles or your ankles or whatever. Like,
Oh, yeah. No.
do some
That's not stretching.
gym class stretching
Yeah.
before you then keep sitting.
Yeah.
You don't have to do something, where your heart is racing afterwards. Just, yeah,
Just a little stretch.
yeah.
I like it.
Thanks.
Sounds good.
But nothing else to plug. It's been a pleasure. I'm so happy to talk about The Nice Guys. I'll talk about anything. But that movie just very near and dear.
Very solid. I love it.
Absolutely. CJ, what do we got?
You can follow us on all the things at Overtalking Pod. Email us at overtalkingpod@gmail.com. Call or text us at USACat1591. Or go to our website, overtalkingpod.party. If you ever think, hey, have these 2 idiots done this movie that I love before? Head on over to the website. Type in the name of the movie. We probably have, or not. A lot of what we watch is bad, so maybe not.
There's
Pick better
there's a lot of
movies,
content out
guess.
there. Yeah.
Be like Gina. Pick a good one.
Ooh. Be like Gina. That's what I'm leaving with.
That's our new motto. Any guess that comes on. Be like Gina.
Perfect. Since you've listened to the show before, this won't be as shocking. Oh, no, they're here.
Oh, it's going to be loud, I think.
That's right. That noise means the Overtalking Overlords have arrived. They're our ghastly, otherworldly landlords who show up at the end of every episode to remind me to remind you. If you like the show, please go on Apple Podcasts or Spotify and rate and review. Reviews would help people find this podcast. Also, we spend any money in advertising, so if you like the show, please tell a friend and spread the word. We'd really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
And as we say at the end of every single episode,
he'll stop doing that. Doing what?
That. Bye.
This episode of the Overtalking Podcast was produced by Ken and CJ, edited by CJ. This week's special guest was Gina. Music by Justin Peters. Logo by Nate Richards. Check out Nate's work on Instagram at Nate Richards Designs.
Next episode, we'll be discussing Shotgun Wedding, starring Jennifer Lopez, available now on Prime Video. See you next week. Love you. Bye.